Sandra, New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio setting a target date, as you mentioned at the top of the show, to get the Big Apple up and running at full capacity. Listen here.
It's time to set a goal for a full reopening in New York City, and that goal is July 1st. We are ready to bring New York City back fully on July 1st.
Let's bring in our Dr. Marty Makary, professor at Johns Hopkins School of Public Health and a Fox News contributor. He did issue the caveat there, let's set a goal. I'm sure he'd like to get it open on July the 1st, but if New York City can do it, and New York City being a blue city and New York being a blue state lagging behind a lot of red states and red cities, might that, Dr. Makary, influence some other blue states and blue cities to get back up and operating?
I hope so, but New York has been lagging behind. You know, the rest of the country has a lot of population-based immunity right now, but 5 states have been lagging. They've had outbreaks among young people, and they saw a surge. New York is one of those, but cases are down 60% over the last 4 weeks in New York, and people have a right to ask, now that roughly 75% of adults have immunity, 54 with vaccination, and about half of those unvaccinated with natural immunity, are we really in a state of emergency when you have low level of cases? And the number of cases right now in the United States is below that of a mild flu season, daily cases and new hospitalizations. So we have a distorted perception of risk, and the CDC needs to issue more guidance on reopening, not just on closures.
All right. Well, Mayor de Blasio also giving parents a reason to hope maybe that schools will be fully open and not too long from now. Here's what he said on that front. Listen.
Let me tell you something. For September, full strength, no question in my mind. Every single child can come back to the classroom and do so safely. And that's really what we need. We need everyone back in school.
Another goal there, September, is New York City schools may get back to full in-person learning. I guess the question is, Dr. Makary, why not now? Why wait until September?
It should be now. It should have been actually a long time ago. But I think what you're seeing is that policymakers, by nature, with policy, set things that are basically instituted indefinitely, and they make long-term plans. But the situation with COVID has been fluid. And if you look at the numbers in the United States and even in New York, I mean, gosh, there's a tremendous plummeting in daily cases. The threat is low. And I wish people would not just talk about the so-called safety of kids being out of school, but the harm, right? Let me know if you ever hear the CDC director or Fauci talk about suicide or the harm of profound isolation. Those are consequences and alternatives of closures.
You mentioned guidance just a second ago, Dr. Makary, which brings us around to sort of the water cooler talk of the day, and that is why were all of those people in the House of Representatives last night for the president's speech wearing masks when most, if not all of them, were vaccinated? And the CDC guidance from its website says you can gather indoors with fully vaccinated people without wearing a mask or staying 6 feet apart. They were all wearing masks. Some of them might have been wearing 2, and they were a long way apart from each other. What was that about?
Well, look, we have a completely distorted perception of risk right now, and it's sending the wrong message. We need to send a message that you can be liberated after you get a vaccine and you wait a month for that immunity to kick in. Really good article in the Washington Post this morning by Dr. Lena Wen, basically saying it's sending the wrong message. Now, this is a bipartisan issue. I don't think anyone would accuse her of being conservative. She was head of Planned Parenthood. She was a Democrat public health commissioner. People are coming together right now. They're frustrated, and they're saying this is contradicting the exact message we're trying to send.
You know, great minds think alike, Dr. Makary, because I'd actually pulled a quote from that. Let's put it up on the screen. Lena Wen writing in the Washington Post, with masks and distancing, Biden's speech sent the wrong message about the power of our vaccines. There's still a little bit of vaccine hesitancy. Did that fuel it even further last night?
It did. Look, if we really want to be serious about addressing hesitancy, let's stop talking about vaccine mandates. Let's respect those who choose not to get the vaccine. Some have a good reason. They have prior COVID infection and they've got natural immunity. Let's give rewards and privileges for those who get vaccinated. Let's create more walk-in clinics to eliminate barriers. And let's stop shaming people that choose not to get it. That's a good strategy. And I think also, in addition, we should stop talking about boosters. There's no evidence we're going to need boosters in the fall, and that's hurting hesitancy as well.
You are a voice of reason in a chaotic world. Dr. Marty Makary, as always, thanks so much.